Hello, this is John Mactimus, the founder of the Obry Project. Most who hear this will at least be somewhat familiar with the works of the author and speaker Christopher John Bjerknes. He has written and spoken extensively on the fraud Albert Einstein, Jewish genocide against non-Jews, Jewish, quote, racism, the paradox of or Kabbalistic form of Christian Zionism, the state of world politics, and the Jews' role and intentions within it. And relatively recently, he's written 3 volumes accusing Adolf Hitler of being both a Bolshevist and Zionist. Those arguments of his, though weighty, are not my main concern. It is, in fact, his ideas which haven't yet gotten the attention of the previously stated topics that I'm most concerned with. Chiefly, I'm referring to the claims of his which, though they are not as widely published, are far more damaging to the very people he claims to want to help, the so-called whites, and humanity in general. These themes that run through all his work are causing the real damage to Western man. They are as follows. 1. That the Old Testament is a book of Jewish propaganda written by, quote, racist, genocidal Jews who have adopted into their religious fiction an immoral, genocidal God. 2. That the Jews as we know them today are the Semites, Hebrews, Israelites, and Judahites of the Bible. 3. That Jesus himself was a typical, quote, racist Jew who wished for the genocide of the, quote, Gentiles as much as his Old Testament Jewish counterparts, and that biblical Christianity itself is Kabbalistic and genocidal. It is true that Christopher has addressed these topics directly in some of his lesser writings and talks, but he has, to my knowledge, never had to defend these views, nor has he ever followed his reasonings through to their logical conclusions. Regardless, these fundamental claims have been woven into nearly every subject he addresses, which makes them a far more pervasive element to his work than his more well-known topics. With the Bible being of far greater importance to Western civilization and the world than all the other topics he's focused on over the span of his career, it's only right that he should have to defend these long-running themes crafted into the majority of his work. This topic, as he well knows, is not secondary, but primary to the assumptions and assertions within his work and in everything transpiring in our world. The most powerful kind of programming and demoralization is that which is indirect or subliminal. If I wrote and spoke on many varied topics while inserting the same common subtext throughout, it would be the subtext that eventually came through the loudest and had the greatest impact. This is not only a characteristic of Bjerknes' work, but has become very saturated within a community of those claiming to be on the side of truth and goodness. It's a stealthy wrecking ball to our faith in our God and the God of our fathers. Therefore, I wish to, now for the 3rd time, extend a challenge to Christopher concerning his claims having to do with the Holy Bible, its message, its people, and its God. I propose, once again, a structured time debate with a moderator and specific argument. I further propose Christopher argue the affirmative based on the 3 earlier points, and I will argue the negative. These themes deserve the utmost respect, and they are of immeasurable weight. It is my sincere hope that Mr. Bjerknes will take this challenge and finally defend his claims reiterated in this challenge, for the sake of truth, for the sake of our and all people, for the sake of his reputation. I eagerly await a response. For the Obry Project, I'm John Mactimus. Thank you.